Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
I want you, Captain America, to help me rebuild the Avengers.
The Avengers?
Yes, sir.
We are the Thunderbolts!
Can't call ourselves that.
God, thank you.
When I became president, first thing I asked was about the secrets. Aliens. Who killed JFK? You're the only one I really trust. I'd like to talk to you about the future.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Movie Punditry. This is Mike, and I am here tonight with a special guest, my Game of Thrones co-host, Mr. Justin Phillips. Justin, how we doing?
Hey. I hero death. I hero something else. I hero Galactus.
Okay. It's clobbering time. Here we go.
Oh, I love it.
As you may have guessed, we are here. I asked Justin to come on here tonight so that we can talk about Fantastic Four First Steps, because I know Justin really likes this movie and has seen it, twice now?
Yes, Mike, I've seen it twice. I saw it last night. Although I will have to admit to everybody, I'm an old man now. You know, it's birthday week. I'm getting older. I did fall asleep the second time, but not because it was bad. I love the movie. That's why I saw it
fell
twice.
asleep during Fantastic Four?
It was a later showing, and it was just out all day and whatnot. So I did, but that's not to say that I did not enjoy the movie. I thought the movie was fantastic. Pun intended.
I see what you did there. Okay, so guys, this is going to be a spoiler-heavy conversation. It's going to be no holds barred. So if you haven't seen it and you don't want to get spoiled in things, then I would suggest you go watch it and then come back and listen to this episode. If you have seen it, then let's get into it. So every 10 years or so, a new Fantastic Four movie crawls out of the proverbial ooze and presents itself to the world. You know, we had in 1994, we had the Roger Corman one, which was not theatrically released, and it should have been, because it's amazing. It is awful in all the most wonderful ways.
Really?
And then in 2005, we had a version, and that was the one that most people know, which is the one starring, Ian Gruffudd and Jessica Alba and Michael Chiklis and Julian McMahon. And then in 2015 was another Fantastic Four movie that came out by Josh Trank, and it was starring Michael B. Jordan, Kate Mara, and Miles Teller. That movie is awful in all the worst ways.
Yeah, I've never seen it, and I don't plan on seeing it anytime soon.
You should not. And now we have 2025, and now we have this, which is Fantastic Four First Steps. It's the MCU's foray into Fantastic Four, and it is a rather unique movie, I will say. And look, don't get me wrong. I told Justin that I have a lot of thoughts about this movie.
You sure did. I'm nervous.
It's not that I don't like it. I really enjoyed this movie.
Okay. I think there's a bug coming.
There's no but coming. I mean, I did really like the movie.
Good.
I think about all of the raves that this thing is getting, though, and have to wonder if maybe that's a little overwhelming or a little much.
Okay.
It is, it's currently sitting at a 92 on the popcorn meter and an 86 critics reviews, Rotten Tomatoes. I think that 86 is pretty fair.
I agree.
Okay, that's good. So we got somewhere to go. So tell me what you liked about the movie.
I like the fact that it was more, as you mentioned, it was Marvel's take on Marvel's first family. As you guys did or did not know, Fantastic Four is Marvel's first family. It's the first take of doing like a superhero movie. I love the fact that it was not. I think they do this really well. We see this with Spider-Man, because of the whole accusation of taking over from Sony's and Fox, and how they're getting the properties back, or they're working on partnerships. How go with Spider-Man, they didn't redo like the origin story. They put a little something in and it made it work. Same thing you see with Fantastic Four. They didn't do like an origin story about how that in fact they were 4 years already in. And I love how they did the premise with the talk show guy that's talking about briefly about how they got the powers, and even a little montage of some of their famous super villain fights that they had against the super villains. I thought that was really good. I just like the fact. I also enjoyed how its take on family. A lot of people don't know, well, a lot of people should know that when it comes to Fantastic Four, I think the greatest superpower that they all have is that they are truly a family. Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, mentioned in the movie that, he has his best friend, Ben, his wife, Sue, and his brother-in-law, Johnny, but they didn't really talk about in the show, so I'm assuming we're probably going to get it in, like, the special features when the DVD Blu-rays comes out, is, like, they showed a scene of him having an interview in the house, and he's talking about how they have dinner no matter what at 7 p.m., 7 p.m. I don't know if it's daily or on Sundays, but 7 p.m. they always have dinner. And then what you do see in the movie is that they made a big deal about, Reed and Sue being late for dinner, and she literally was late for another reason. But I like that. That's what I like. I like it's a fresh take on that, and it was just a reminder to me of what Phase 1, 2, and 3 of the MCU was.
Getting to know characters and all that,
and likable too.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, I like the fact that it's not an origin story. It's kind of weird. It's like that and Superman are both kind of like, all right, we're going to start the story already running, and it's not like these guys have been doing it forever. Like, I think Superman was like 3 years since he had announced himself to the world, and this was 4 years since the thing, and then we get kind of the recap of how they got their powers via a interview show media package.
Yes.
And that was kind of cool. It's like, okay, for those of you for the people who don't know, here it is. If you need a little bit of a refresher, but we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. And this is really going to be about the characters and about the people in the show, and I'm going to tell you one thing that I really did like is we did not have this like traumatized Ben Grimm, who's
get out of my head.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, he is who he is. He's accepted who he is.
Yeah,
and he's in a lot of ways, I think he's really the heart of this movie in bringing these people together. He's the one cooking the dinner. He's the one who's always looking out for everybody. And as much as I love Michael Chiklis's performance in 2005, that
was a good performance.
It's really dealing with the trauma of, oh my God, I'm this disfigured, awful looking person. This version of Ben Grimm has really kind of come to grips with it. I think they all have.
I feel like. Because I do agree with you, and I like the fact that they were light on the seasoning of the traumatic. Oh, look at me, I'm a monster, and we don't see much of that. I feel like you get maybe a little glimmer. They had that one scene where he sees his old self in a previous interview, and he made a comment like, I have the great looks, and then the TV turns off, and then you see a reflection of what he looks like now, which. They allow you to see it's like in the radar probably, but it was nowhere. It wasn't prevalent in the movie, which I agree with you on that part. And I also think it's kind of interesting too about the relationship aspect of Ben. Like you see him flirting with that what's her name? Natasha. She's from
Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah. I think we have to do our own separate episode just on her by herself because she's a very interesting person. But besides that, Just how he was trying to relate to her stuff, and I feel like at first maybe he felt a little bit hesitant because of how he looks like. This is how I'm thinking about it. But I did like the fact towards the end where, the last days was happening and he says, I want to spend time with you. I thought that was cool. But I do agree. But going back to what I was saying, I just want to point that out. But despite pointing that out, I do agree with you. I love the fact that they did not put that traumatized portion of what you said, which was very much prevalent in the 2005 one that you mentioned. At least in the first movie.
Right. No, yeah. And they kind of got past it in Rise of the Silver Surfer. But so speaking of Silver Surfer, what did you think of Julia Garner's performance of Shia LaBeouf? Like, what did you think about this version of the Silver Surfer?
Oh, she knocked that out of the park. In my opinion, I thought she was really good. The way she came in there, I kind of said, I messed up the monologue she had. I hero death, I hero something, and then I hero Galactus. When she said that, she won my heart. Very attractive lady. I'm not gonna lie. The way they did that, I was kind of like with Johnny Storm. I love the relationship she did have with Johnny. The connections of it. The relationship that they truly had. I love the sacrifice that she made. She didn't kill herself, but she went into that time warp, knocking Galactus in there. It was phenomenal. I know she was controversial because she's a female version. She's the female variant of the Silver Surfer, but she's comic accurate. That's where I go. That's where I go based off of things a lot of the time. If it's comic accurate and they do something like that, I'm definitely for it.
Yeah, I mean, Shia LaBeouf has been around since the '60s. She's a legitimate version of the Silver Surfer. I will say that this version of the Fantastic Four seems to me to be a lot more like what comic fans are expecting.
Absolutely.
In terms of these characters, the relationship between these characters, and and how they react. I mean, between the four of them, between Shia LaBeouf, between Galactus.
Yes.
All of those are really something that's very familiar, and I'm so glad they made Galactus like an actual character and not like a mysterious cloud or something.
Yeah, they did that in 2020.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with Dormammu and Doctor Strange. Dormammu does not, but I feel like in the MCU, because MCU is now become definitely separate from like Marvel Comics. It have to be like that. I feel like they're learning from their mistakes, and they're learning from other people's past mistakes from previous studios and whatnot. And that's another thing I'm truly loving as well too. Like you mentioned, they're becoming very much comic book accurate. I was hoping, because when I first of all, let me just say this, Mike. I've been excited for this movie for years. When they first announced it, I don't know what it was. Like when the acquisition was in 2020, I believe.
Around there, yeah.
Around there. So that's when I knew, okay, we're finally gonna get back to Fantastic Four. We heard announcements from that. I know the guy who did oh man. I forgot what movie he since dropped off. He picked up a new director, and people figured out how things were going to be. I was expecting a world of a truly 1960s Marvel like, so meaning not just having the Fantastic Four, but having heroes like Daredevil, the Amazing Spider-Man, having like the original. Obviously, I'm be asking too much facts for the X-Men, but Iron Man, Captain America, throughout that their variations throughout I believe there are eight to eight throughout 828. Unfortunately, what we did get, and it's not a bad thing too. I mean, it's not too bad. I'm just a little bit sad. I'm a little bit disappointed. Is that we just got them as the main protectors? We see Galactus says, "Are you guys the Earth saviors, the Earth protector?" And you see Sue saying, "Yes, we are." So it would have been pretty cool if we had other heroes on there, but still not totally. I'm not too upset. It's slight disappointment of it.
Yeah, and like so the whole, retro future thing was a choice, and I thought it was really well executed. I
Mm-hmm.
know, for some people, like I know, like it was a little off-putting for like my wife, for example. Like Jill was like,
Interesting.
she's like, I don't, because she didn't understand like about the multiverse thing, and
Oh,
so
really?
right, so she thought it was just like in the same universe, and so
Oh,
she's like, why are they like, why do they have like, is it the 1960s and they have
yes.
flying cars and they're watching crappy black and white televisions? I don't understand that.
It's
So,
like the
you know,
Jetsons, though.
it's like, that's what she said. It's like feels like I'm watching the Jetsons. And, but this idea of, I mean, two things. I mean, one, obviously, it's a different Earth. It's not the Earth that the MCU has
Yeah.
been taking place on. But also, if you think about it, like all of those innovation, like all the future stuff is all Reed,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I was gonna say that.
The rocket ships Reed, the time warp thing is Reed, the spaceship is Reed, all
And that
the flying
speaks
cars Reed. That's all his stuff. Like the rest of that Earth is in the 1960s.
and
He's the one who's way out in front of everybody.
exactly, Mike. And that just you just really said it, hit it on the nail. And that just speaks on the incredible gift that Reed Richards has. For those who don't know, Reed Richards, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but I'm pretty sure I'm accurate on this. He's literally the most smartest man in Marvel in the Marvel lore.
Right. Yeah.
So for him to be able to build space, and I feel that that's evident in this universe. For him to be in the '60s, they have the black and white TVs and whatnot, but yet in the same universe, we're seeing him building the spaceships. We see him being able to transport things like an egg. So even possibly what she was about to do, the Earth. From one position to another. The man speaks volumes. The man can do whatever he can do. If he's
Yeah.
remarkable.
I have a little thought about that, but
Uh-oh.
um, so how much, like, how do I want to say this? Um, I think, I think the, I think the problem, one of the problems that I have with it is that ending, and like how, like how it seems to resolve fairly quickly, which is not unusual in a Marvel movie, but
Right.
but they built like one. It's like, so you have this whole situation, and I kind of liked it, right? Where they come back, and Reed is, he's in the press conference, and he's like, he asked for a child, and we said no,
Right.
right? And then they're like, what child, and or whose child? And I mean, Reed, you could have lied to him, right? And just said it doesn't matter.
Yes. True.
Doesn't matter. That sacrifice is too
out.
great. Throw in the old, we don't trade lives, whatever. But no, he comes right out. And I know part of that is that they're leaning into this idea that Reed Richards is on the spectrum.
Really?
Yeah, which is something that Marvel Comics has pretty much acknowledged.
Mike, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the first time I'm hearing something like this. Which I'm actually like that, but I mean, yeah.
So he's not someone who's going to prevaricate. He's not going to try to talk his way around it necessarily.
He's matter of fact type
he's
of
just
way,
going to come
but
out
he
and
is.
say this is the way that it is,
Yeah.
and then they, the people turn against them because it's like, kind of, okay, one unborn baby, all of Earth, there's no calculus here. And
Yeah.
but then, like, Sue gives a little speech and everybody's cheering again.
Mm.
That seemed to flip over pretty good. Now they're all building these things, and it's like, I'm sorry, we can't like build a bridge in less than like 15 years. Like, they're gonna build these portals all over the world, And then it's the other thing is like I kind of lost the idea of like how long this movie takes. Like what's the timeline?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I understand it took them several months or a month or a couple of months to get back from the encounter with Galactus.
Yes.
But like Franklin, by the time they get to like the third act, like Franklin's like a toddler almost, It's like
That's true.
and that's maybe like maybe he's a movie baby and that's the way they're doing it, but it's like I don't understand like how long did it take between them getting back and Galactus showing up? Because they had time to build all those portals.
It was my understanding that it was like at least like a month or something like that. From what I was when I watched it the first time, because by the second time I was a little bit knocked out on that part. But first it was about like a month or so.
So they're expecting to believe that kid is 2 months old. I'm sorry, that kid looks like he's like almost a year.
He's grown, yeah. That kid looked like he could speak some good English. He did look like that, yeah.
So I just thought it was a little dicey about like what the internal timeline of the movie is.
I wish that they were like a little bit more specific on that, and they were to tell us like how they said 4 years later, whatnot. They should did that or had like a little
or when he's like we're gonna build these things and we only have 6 months to do it or something.
Exactly, that would have helped us out a little bit more.
To give us a little bit of a timeline kind of thing, because so they have this faster than light ship that they traveled in. Which, by the way, for that whole sequence, I thought it was like watching Interstellar. It just really looked. I mean, it really looked cool, and I know it's like kind of maybe scientifically as accurate as we can theorize, but then they come back and it's like we don't know what Galactus's method of motion is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if they had just said something like, okay, we only have a year, we only have 6 months, whatever. So at least to kind of give us a little bit of a time frame, but it's kind of like we have this thing, Galactus is coming, but
wasn't like originally
they're having dinner, or it's like there's seems like a lack of urgency during some of it.
Yeah. Yeah. She told us to celebrate. She's a whole your love was there. And then she told she told even Johnny Storm, like, what she said to die with your young one. Oh man, I'm not remembering as best as I can. But the message that she did get to Johnny. And originally, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was mentioned in the movie or not, but it takes like a matter of 8 days from when Galactus gives the message of the doom. Not Galactus, to the Silver Surfer to give the message of the incoming danger to Galactus coming. So for it to be originally like that, then for it to be like a month or so, and then yeah. So I think they could have cleaned that portion up a little bit more. Just to help us out a little bit better.
Maybe a little bit. And while we're on the subject, it's like all of a sudden Johnny Storm is a master linguist.
I thought that was weird too. She says, "How do you understand my language?" And then he starts to proceed to speak even more fluently, like in her language and whatnot.
Right. Yeah, I didn't really get that at all. Like out of the four of them, that it would be Johnny.
That would be Johnny. Yeah, right. I feel like he's like the least.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But it's kind of like they were like, we need somebody to do this translate thing.
Yeah, I think only that, and also because of the connection he had with the Silver Surfer. So I think because of that, they put that in there.
And by connection, you mean she had a nice body?
She definitely had a nice body. That's what. Okay. That's what. He said it. He said,
see, now that fits Johnny Storm.
Yes. He didn't hesitate to go after her that first time she came through. So if I'm not mistaken, too, he is like a playboy. He's a playboy.
Right.
So yeah. Yeah, so that I can see that as being another plot hole in that portion of it. It's like, I just went along with it. Sure, I said sure, why not? And the fact that he had that plan hidden from the team, where he was with the work of his watch, and he interrupted all the major TV screens and the jumbotrons and all that with her recording. That was a little bit like, okay, I gotta understand Reed doing that, but Johnny, okay.
Yeah, yeah. That was kind of like that, and like that whole end piece, the very end piece, just seemed kind of very convenient.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do like what they did with Sue. Like I do like how
She's
integral
good.
Sue was to the story, and it was really, in a lot of ways, was kind of her movie.
Can we talk about that real quick? Because I feel like I'm comparing her to the Jessica Alba one, which I thought Jessica Alba, like, because I recently rewatched the 2005, watched both of the movies. I thought she did a good job, believe it or not.
Jessica Alba. I
Yeah.
thought she was fine.
I thought she was fine, but I thought Vanessa Kirby was better. But Jessica Alba, I felt like she was more like for like a sex appeal. You know what I mean? Like, let's just be, can we be real here? It's, Jessica Alba.
Right.
Anybody with eyes will understand why she got that role. I might get in trouble for that, Mike. So you might have to edit that. But anyways, I see that, and I watched some of this stuff. She really did fun. I liked her in the role, but she had a lot of I don't know. She was like very dependent on Reed, like a little bit of a damsel of distress type of thing. Despite her, every time she would use her power, she would get weak. Her nose starts to bleed and whatnot. Granted, Vanessa died in this one, literally. Big spoiler alert. But moving on to Vanessa, I felt like she was a really strong, independent woman. You know what I mean? And you see it immediately, like in the beginning, like she was a woman of political power. She was able to connect with Mole Man. Mole Man couldn't trust none of the other Fantastic Four guys, but he said he trusts Sue, which came in big part because they needed his help. And the fact that I didn't know, going into watching this movie, I didn't know Invisible Woman had that type of strength. The fact that she single-handedly was pushing back Galactus. Granted, I also think that's what happens when you're when you're a mama, and I said the mama, when you protecting your children, that fight or flight is going to kick in even more.
Right.
But I thought she was good. And I just want to say this. Prior to this, I was a little bit, Mike, I don't know how you felt, but I was a little bit nervous when they made the announcements of who's going to be in the Fantastic Four. I really wanted, John Krasinski, I can never say his last name, from The Office.
Yeah.
I wanted him to be in it, or somebody of that caliber. He has the looks of it, which, I do appreciate Marvel for giving us a little teaser in Doctor Strange and the Multitude of Madness, Multiverse of Madness, with him being in it. But when they picked people like Pedro Pascal and Vanessa, at the time, to me, Vanessa Kirby was a nobody. I didn't know who she was.
Really?
Yeah, I know, Mike. I know. I still don't know what she was. What did she play in besides? What is she known? Was she known for?
Probably best known. She's been in a couple of the Mission Impossible movies, and a couple of the, or in one of the, or two of them. Now, like the whole Fast and Furious franchise.
She was in Fast and Furious.
She was in she was in Hobbs and Shaw originally, and then her character was carried over, I think, into like the later movies. So yeah, she is Jason Statham's character. She's his sister.
Sister.
Yeah.
Interesting. See, I did not know this. So when I first heard, now that I know all this stuff, I'm going to have to rewatch that, But I know this is so funny now, too, because now the character who plays Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm, these guys are in such popular, like, Stranger Things. It's like probably like the biggest TV show right now. Right. And then The Bear, which is like critically very acclaimed.
Well, as I was just about to say, just let me interrupt you for a sec. Yeah. I came to know Vanessa Kirby because she was in the first couple of seasons of The Crown, which is a show about Queen Elizabeth, like her whole life. And she played Margaret, Princess Margaret, who is Elizabeth's sister. And I think in the first 2 seasons, I think, and she's fantastic in that. So that's how I came to know her, and then she was in Mission Impossible, and then she was in Hobbs and Shaw. So
See, I didn't see none of those shows. Now you got me interested in watching The Crown. I have to watch
The Crown is fantastic.
Oh, if Mike Mahoney endorses a show, best believe I won't be watching it. So that's gonna be on my list. The Crown is definitely gonna be on my list. But you know what though?
What?
I'm kind of glad that I went into this movie not knowing who she was and whatnot. Because I like big names. I like the Gwyneth Paltrow's. I like the Zoe Saldana's. The what's her name? Zendaya.
Right.
Excuse me. And I feel like they fit those roles so perfectly like that. I went into this not really know her. I came out of that movie theater. I said, okay, I can see her as she really is Sue Storms. She played that role, and to me, she earned that.
And that's part, I think that's part of, yeah, I think you make a good point, because as much as I love Pedro Pascal, it's like,
ugh.
We're almost oversaturated with him. Like,
yes,
it's like, is there something in the union that he's got to be like the lead in like 5 projects a year? I mean,
5 projects a year.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere now. And,
he really is.
So that kind of maybe pulls you out a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I think you're right. Like, Vanessa Kirby is not known enough to where she's like, oh, this is this person. Like, she's done like really good character work and some really good parts, but there's nothing that's been like, boom, is a standout part.
Yes.
And whereas Pedro Pascal, obviously, he's like so well known for a couple of things. And it's like, okay, I've seen this guy's face everywhere.
What is he not in? That's the
exactly. I mean, dude's in Corona. Like, Sir, Pedro Pascal, you need to be doing Corona commercials right now. You don't have enough money in the bank.
You have enough money, bro, to last you at least 3
You don't
lifetimes.
have to do Corona commercials.
Yes. You're about to be in the 2 biggest movies and within this next decade with the Avengers, Doomsday, and possibly Secret Wars.
Plus, he's got a Star Wars movie coming out, so it's like, bro,
he sure does.
You don't have to be doing commercials right now.
Yeah, come on. Let somebody else act, right?
Save it for some new people.
Please, we're begging you, Paige. If you're somehow listening to this, and I know you will at some point, chill out a little bit, man. Chill out.
Just relax, man.
We love you. You're a great actor.
Take a weekend off.
Yes, I love you as Orby and Martell, man. But let's calm down, man. We're oversaturated.
So yeah, but I think it was like, I really enjoyed the movie. Did you see Thunderbolts? You saw Thunderbolts, right?
Oh, I love Thunderbolts.
Yeah. So then there's that scene at the end of Thunderbolts where, they see the ship and it's like, okay, what's going on here?
I love how. So this is what I love what Marvel's doing, because I'm not gonna lie to you, Mike. I'm a little bit tired of Pedro Pascal. I must confess that I think I'm a little bit tired of my favorite genre. Superhero movies is my favorite genre right now. I would love a good superhero movie. I'm a little bit tired, I think we've been pushed too many stuff for the past 20 years.
And I agree with you. And, Randall and I talked about this in our last episode, and we're like, look, we need some time,
Yes.
And which is good. I mean, because this is the last Marvel movie.
For a year.
Until a year and a half.
No,
right?
no.
December.
No, Mike, you didn't see it?
What?
Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Oh,
July
okay.
31st.
I'm not counting that. Yeah, I'm not counting that.
You're not counting wait a minute. See, you're going to go down the route. You need to count Spider-Man Brand New Day.
I need to count that. I know.
Because that's a big tie-in, man. Oh, but yes, I agree. And I cried a little bit too. Even though I said I want to, like, I'm a spoiled American guy. At the one hand, I'm like, okay, I'm oversaturated with this. But on the other hand, I'm like, dang, man, this is really like the last big Marvel movie for over a year. I don't know. But I love the fact that Marvel's been doing this to me a lot lately. I've been going in there expecting A, B, and C. And when I actually sit down and watch it, I'm actually getting A, E, F, Z183. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? It's like they completely throw me off, and they did it twice. They did it twice with the Fantastic Four movie. I was expecting that world was going to be destroyed, and the reason why we saw the post credit from the Thunderbolts was because the world was destroyed. Now I'm not saying this has not happened. You know what I mean? But they were really heavily teasing that throughout the promotion of this. Like when you watch the trailers, Galactus is coming. He's gonna eat the planet, and the Fantastic Four has to figure out something. Like the way Reed Richards was talking, I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna try our best to save you, but it looked like he's gonna give up on the planet and leave it. Hence, we see that famous post credit, which both was correct. Both was directed by the Russo brothers. That post scene and the post scene in Fantastic Four.
So you're telling me that your theory is that they're leaving 828 because Galactus came back?
I think it was really interesting. I just think that actually, that was my original thought. I thought that Galactus destroyed the world, and when you see, because Thunderbolts came out before Fantastic Four, so you see the post credit for Thunderbolts, they get that reading that a new spaceship was entering into the galaxy, and then we see that amazing Fantastic Four logo. So that was my mindset going in there. Until I seen the actual movie. Well, apparently Galactus has been taken care of for the time being. But when you see the post credit for Fantastic Four, first of all, I loved it. People said they wanted more. I understand. I initially wanted that as well, but watching the second time and seeing that post credit, I said, you know what, they did this really well. I think it's gonna be a problem, and what I think we're seeing right there is
you mean the one with Doom?
Oh yeah, my boy, Dr. Doom, Victor Von Doom.
So supposedly that was RDJ.
Like do you think that's even in that scene that was him?
I think that is going to turn out to be just a piece. So remember at the end of Ant-Man, was it Ant-Man? I remember, but they had a post-credit scene where like Sam and Cap had Bucky in that machine and they were asking him questions, and then that turned out to be actually part of a longer scene in the next movie. I think that's what we're seeing here. I think we're seeing a little snippet of an actual longer scene from Doomsday.
I agree with you. I think both post credit scenes, from the Thunderbolts and also from Fantastic Four, is going to be both scenes from Doomsday, and we've seen this in the past too, Mike. We've seen it with what was it? Not Love and Thunder. What was the third Thor movie? Thor Ragnarok.
Right.
Where you see like the post scene, they're leaving, they have all the people, then you see that big
and then you see the sanctuary come up and
so good. And then in the beginning of Infinity War, we get like the post portion of that scene, like the post, damage. I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be really good. I think that scene's gonna be crazy. There's so much to talk about. Like, who's in control first and foremost? Because we haven't even mentioned the full depths of Franklin Richards. Because that boy is a beast. Galactus is, in the comics, Galactus is afraid of Franklin Richards.
Well, because at least in the comics, Franklin Richards is the most powerful character in all of the Marvel canon.
Yes.
Period.
Yes. Sorry, Wanda. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Wanda. Yeah. He is definitely, he's beyond like all the mutants.
Yep.
He's beyond, he's beyond Wanda.
The Eternals.
He's beyond the Eternals, beyond I forget the name of the character in Thunderbolts. Like he's
Wadu.
Yeah, he's bigger than anybody.
Yeah.
So, and I know they call him Powerhouse. So he's he's a big significant character. So I'm wondering if something like Doom came to to kidnap him,
I think so.
and then now and bring him to 616, and now they're following him. Although I don't know why it's all happening on 616, but
I think he's jumping. It's like a time heist, like kind of what Thanos was, but instead of jumping from throughout the same universe, he's jumping throughout different multiverse. I think he's gonna,
Right.
before he gets to 616, he's gonna make it to oh man, I forget what the Fox's universe is, and I think he's gonna have a big fight against the X-Men. He's gonna use Franklin to do this. I don't know how he's gonna do it. But Doctor Doom was a problem in itself. He might take America. Cause I think where's Chavez? America Chavez is the only person I think in all the multiverse who has the gift of jumping through multiple universes. Although there was a rift. Remember the rift that happened in the Marvels? Where it's got Photon trapped into the X-Men, so I think we're gonna see her again. I think she's gonna join with the X-Men and fight Doctor Doom. They're gonna get their butts whooped. I honestly don't know what's gonna happen. This is just pure speculation, and I definitely think he's gonna go to 616. He's definitely gonna be in 616 because I think that's why we see the Fantastic Four going in, being in that universe. You said it yourself. He gets kidnapped somehow, but who's to say? There's even rumors that Franklin understands what Doctor Doom wants to do, and he's willing to do it. Even if
so there's thoughts. So I had seen people think about, because when you see that scene, like Doom's mask is off, and Franklin is reaching out to his face,
right?
So there was a thought that he's healing him.
Yeah.
Right, because that's one of the things that Powerhouse can do, is he can heal you. That maybe he's healing the scars and stuff on his face. So couple of interesting theories I just want to bounce off you. One, Randall and I talked about in our last episode is, so there's a theory that in the battle with Thanos, when Stephen Strange, when they were on Titan, and Strange was looking through 14,605 possible futures and figuring out how to defeat Thanos, and he told Tony that there was only one, that what he really meant was that there was only one where Thanos is defeated and Tony dies.
Right.
Because it was important that Tony dies, because if Tony hadn't died, then he would have, like Pepper said, not been able to rest. And he would have been looking for ways to prevent this to happening, prevent ways for other things. And he would start mucking around with the multiverse. And
really,
the theory, right? So the theory is that this Doom is really one of the Tony variants who didn't die, and now is mucking around in the multiverse. That's theory one.
Ooh, that's good.
Theory two is that the Fantastic Four are originally from 616. When they went up into space and encountered whatever it was they encountered, it was also a multiversal rift, and they wound up in 828. But they're really from 616, and that's where Franklin would be most powerful.
So if they're from 616, are they from the time period, though, of 1960, 616?
Maybe. Or maybe that's just where they went. There's nothing that's saying that that's the 1960s. It's just that's where that Earth is.
Yeah, right.
At that time, right? So because it's time and space, so they could have gone diagonally. You know what I'm saying? Or time's moving faster there or slower there. So, and if you'll notice, right, it's like that Earth, 828 is kind of similar to the TVA in Loki.
Interesting.
you know. So anyway, so the idea is that they were just pulled into 828 as part of that rift, and this is like Doom like hunting for Franklin and then taking him to the place where he would be the most powerful.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if that's true, but it should be, because it's a pretty good idea.
I can follow that. I can definitely follow that. I definitely can see Doom obviously being a big major problem, but also Franklin Richards. He's like a gun, you know. A gun is a very powerful piece, depending on who is behind it, or who's holding it. And
Right.
with Doctor Doom, because this comes easy, despite Sue trying to protect, he's gonna overpower her and take this baby. He's gonna be off. And Reed's smart though. Reed knows how to track. He's gonna do that. He knows how to break through the thing. I think there's gonna be a lot of big consequences that's gonna come out of this movie. I'm so excited, man. I'm making sure that I'm staying at top of my health. That I'm not going out as much.
You got to make it to the end of next year.
I have to make it to the end of next year, because I need to see how this movie's gonna play out. Both movies, this end of next year and the following. Hopefully, no more delays. I know they're gonna. I don't know if they started. No, they're still writing the script and stuff too. That's the craziest thing about this, Mike. They're still writing the script for Doomsday and for Secret War. So we don't even know exactly who, besides that amazing. I mean, I know you and I talked about this. That I'm calling the infamous Marvel announcement of who's going to be in the two movies. With the seat,
the chairs,
over 5 hours long. I remember just being in the gym on my treadmill, just watching every 5-10 minutes slow change to the next character. But yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I think Fantastic Four was a great Fantastic Four and the Thunderbolts. I think these last few projects in Phase 5, but now we're in Phase 6 with Fantastic Four. Were great setups for Doomsday. I think it's gonna be really good. I feel like Marvel really kind of dropped the ball with Phase 4, and they realized it, and they really tried to reshuffle and try to fix a lot of things. But Phase 4 was just honestly, it was a complete dud. But a few of them sticking out.
Well, I mean, like 4 and 5, really.
You think 5 was bad?
I think. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't say that.
Quantumania was horrible.
Some of it. So, Quantumania was horrible. I really don't like Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Mike,
I think it's a mess.
Mike, I'm sorry. Hold on. We're talking about Fantastic Four, but Mike, are you kidding me? Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was probably one of the best movies in a long time, Marvel-wise. I thought it was brilliant. I can't believe that just came out in your words. Oh my gosh!
What's brilliant about it?
Everything, the actions of it. I love the story. You know what it is? James Gunn had a way of highlighting a specific character in each of the Guardians of the Galaxies, and the backstories and the trauma. I love how they make them so much relatable. You know what I mean? Like growing up watching Rocky Raccoon in all 3 of the movies, he presents himself, and even in the Avengers movies, as a tough guy, the razzcracker. He makes some jokes, but we got to see him on such a relatable, emotional, intimate level in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, man. And what was his name? The creator? That was the villain's name? He was
whatever, yeah.
He was, in my opinion, he was probably one of the better villains that we had, especially post Endgame.
Really?
Absolutely. He was the way that he tormented all these creatures. He tormented the way that he had him. So he basically like laid image. He lived went free in Rocket Raccoon's mind, right? Reverted him back to be like a little kid and stuff. And the fear, man. And some of the action scenes were so good. I only watched the movie once in the theater. I want to rewatch it again. But lately,
I started rewatching it last week, and I was like,
yeah, I gotta hear.
and so I think what it is, and I think I figured this out because when we were talking about Superman.
Okay.
I think what this is that I think I don't like James Gunn movies, and I think that the first Guardians movie is kind of the outlier. Because I love the first Guardians.
It was amazing. It really.
I love half of the second Guardians movie. I don't like the ego stuff. I love the Yondu stuff.
Oh, that was powerful. That was powerful.
And I kind of don't like the third one. I liked the first Suicide Squad movie, which I know he didn't direct. I really don't like the second Suicide Squad.
I know that was
movie.
weird. That was weird. Like, I didn't like how he portrayed Peacemaker, how he killed off the
and
that was weird.
And I'm like mid on Superman. Like, I kind of liked it, but I kind of didn't like it.
I agree with you.
I mean, I have a lot of problems with it, so
I thought the highlight of that movie was honestly Mr. Terrific. I like Mr. Terrific.
He's great.
I didn't like Luther. Nicholas Hoult played Luther. I don't know. I did like.
I don't know. I thought the way he played it was pretty good, although there was some stuff with him that I didn't like. I mean, I thought that David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan, I thought they were fine. I like their relationship, you know. But I think for me, like it's just like the movie is so wild in its tone. It's like I don't know how I'm expected to feel. You know, as you know, I talked about it in our episode where we talked about it. It's like they do that opening scene where he's like dragged back to the Fortress of Solitude and he's dying, and the robots are like, you know, got to get him into the chair so that they can, you know, whatever, and he's bleeding and he's screaming, and then 30 seconds later he's like making a joke about crypto messing up the room, you know. It's like dude, it's like, okay. But the one that really drove me crazy is the one where they're in Lois's apartment and they're having this really deep conversation, but in the background in the window is the Justice Gang fighting a giant eyeball, and it's like, what am I supposed to be focused on here? Like, I don't know why you're doing that in the background when there's important stuff happening in the front, you know?
Yes,
and I guess that's just the way he does that, you know? And it's kind of reminiscent of like in like the opening of Guardians 2 where they're fighting that monster, right? But you're focused on Groot, but the fight's going on in the background, except that's just a comic title sequence. Comedy. This scene in Superman is an important scene. And in the background, you've got, you know, Guy Gardner forming a giant green bat. I mean, beating on this intergalactic eyeball. It's like, what's going on here, guys? So yeah, I've got some. Maybe it's just I don't like James Gunn movies, and that's okay. I just don't get his humor. Like everything. Why is everything like a giant? What's his obsession with eyeballs?
He does have a big thing with eyeballs. That's what you think about, because no, he didn't do the Thor movie. No, but he did do it in the first one, how he took the eye.
Right, and then Starro, you know, in the Suicide Squad, you know, with the big eye, and the rats attack the eye, and it's like
he's kind of he's like putting Tarantino, you know, how he is with feet.
With feet, yeah.
Maybe that's his kink or fetish. I don't know.
Maybe who knows? Maybe like he's an eye man.
I feel like James Gunn has like ADHD, because that's kind of how I felt with Superman. I felt like my issue with there was just too much going on. At one moment, he's fighting monkeys. Then he's fighting these robots. Then he's looking for his dog. Then he's getting beat up. Then he's doing this. Then he's doing that. Then there's these multiple plot scenes with Mr. Terrific and Lois Lane and all this stuff. There was just too much dip on the chip. I liked the movie, though. I thought it was good. I thought it was a breath of fresh air, especially after all the crazy I mean, yeah, movies like from the that we previously got. You know, say what you want, but let's just be real.
Well, let's keep going through it. All right, so we agree on Quantumania. We disagree on Guardians. We agree on Thunderbolts.
Oh, yeah.
Brave New World.
Yeah. Brave New World was here's the thing. It was good, but it's not. It was not the original. It's not the original Captain America. Now, I'm gonna keep it real.
Right.
I love to see my brothers. I love black representation like that in a Captain America, and it's comic book accurate. You know, Falcon does become it, but it's not Steve Rogers though. Steve Rogers is the one that took the super soldier serum.
So you're on Team Kevin Feige, where he's saying that it didn't do well because it wasn't Steve Rogers.
Yeah, I feel like you know what, you can have. People are gonna think I'm crazy, but you can have two Captain Americas. You can have this one right here, and don't get me wrong, because I did enjoy the series, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I actually love that series. I loved it. I thought it was good. I think Sam Wilson, they really I think he's been really well developed, especially from that from the TV show, and even in the movie. Here's why I like the movie. I thought he's good. It's just. I don't want to contradict myself, you know what I mean? But I feel like Steve Rogers, those movies from not even Civil War, but even Winter Soldier and stuff, that was just cream of the crop MCU. Yeah. And
really,
and I feel like another issue that had an impact on it is that we are also dealing with the post fatigue. Like, you know, people don't know what they're doing after Endgame. They don't know what they're doing. And unfortunately, it was a good movie. It's just that they're not the main, like, you don't have no main staples like Iron Man or Steve Rogers Captain America or you know, Spider-Man, like that was in the phases 1 to 3. Now you're dealing with like these third and fourth string people where you got Sam Wilson as Captain America and you got this new guy as the Falcon, and then you have Red Hulk, which was pretty amazing to see. Don't get me wrong. It's that, and then there was the new Black Widow lady. I forgot her name, but that's exactly what she is. She's like she's like a minor character.
Yeah, that was a whole thing in and of itself. So, all right. So what else we got? Deadpool and Wolverine.
I loved it. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too.
You didn't care for it?
No, I liked it a lot.
Oh, you did like it a lot. A lot of people did not like it.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, because I think for some people it was probably like literally their first foray into a Deadpool movie.
Oh wow!
Because it's like you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, it's got Hugh Jackman in it, and I'll go watch it. And I didn't watch the other ones, so they didn't really know what to expect.
I agree.
The Marvels. I think we agree that was not a great movie.
I like the Marvels.
Really? Singing Planet? Really?
That was stupid. I don't know why they put that in there, but when you got the team up of Captain Marvel, Photon, and Miss Marvel, I thought that was pretty cool. And the fact that
that is cool. It's just they didn't do anything cool with them.
I do agree. Now let me say this. I like the movie. That does also mean that it was an amazing movie. It showed too in the sales. It did horrible, you know, all that stuff. So I definitely say that I enjoyed it. Did I watch it again? Of course not. But you know, and I feel like they could have done a lot, like you said. I completely forgot about the thinking thing. That was horrible. That was abysmal. But I thought it was pretty cool, you know. And there's another issue too. Captain Marvel was deemed to be just as powerful as Thanos. So it's so hard when you have these characters like Captain Marvel, Thor, or the Scarlet Witch, when they're these powerful beings, and you try to give somebody that's like worth like their challenge for them. You know what I mean?
I will point out to you that when Captain Marvel showed up in Endgame, Thanos basically punched her out of the movie.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by that? Like first of all, he took the Power Stone because he was struggling.
I know he had the Power Stone when he did it.
He was struggling. He hit by her and she didn't even flinch, man.
But he gave her one punch, and you didn't see her again until Tony's funeral.
So, like, are you trying to say that Thanos more powerful than Captain Marvel?
No, but what I'm trying to say is in the scope of that movie, he was.
I feel like they did that because they know, good and well, honestly, if Captain Marvel was to go full power, she.
I know nobody would have been able to. Yeah, nobody would have been able to stand up to her at all.
And then we would never got the amazing sacrifice that we got with Tony Stark.
Right.
Which happened.
No, absolutely. It was the right choice for the movie, and I like the way that she showed up was actually really cool.
Yeah, she couldn't have been there right away because it would have been done sooner than later. And then they have,
I like the way she took out the sanctuary.
Yes.
She took out a bunch of stuff, and then she came to Peter, and I like that whole little
Hey Peter Parker.
Peter Parker. Yeah, I mean, that part was all pretty cool. All right, what else? So what else?
Oh, you forgot to mention
what else we got here? Did you watch Ironheart?
Oh, I love Ironheart. I loved it. I really did. And you know what? It was so crazy because a lot of people was flagging it as negative. So that made me nervous. I'm like, really? Like, it was that bad? The first episode was getting a little bit used to it. And I'm not going to lie. I'm just, Marvel, it's like two sides of the same coin. Like, I like a little bit of like grief and like trauma stories here and there because it helps, give some flavor to the characters and whatnot. But I feel like Marvel overused it, and I'm also tired of seeing it as a person of color, as a black person. Like typically, all these black characters have to deal with some type of trauma and whatnot. But I let it slide for this one. I thought it did work out, especially with her best friend Natalie, because that's also comic accurate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I know. I did not like that at the beginning. Well, but in the comics, she uses like a Tony Stark AI.
Yeah, it was Natalie.
No, a Tony Stark AI.
Like as in Tony Stark was the AI.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
But so I grew to like the Natalie AI. Like the first episode, I was kind of like, really, this is what we're going to do? The AI is going to be like a sassy black woman.
Yeah.
I mean, could we go a little more down the road of stereotype here? But I actually kind of grew to like Natalie AI. So, I'm kind of on the positive side on that show. I think they kind of I didn't like her in Wakanda Forever because they really wasted her. But she kind of grew on me in the show. I think my only real quabble with it is like, okay, so even though she got kicked out of MIT, she's like a super genius.
She's incredibly smart.
And yet the only way she can come up with making money is like doing crimes. Like,
yeah, like
yeah, that seems convenient,
I agree. It's like, you know what it was? It was like a little bit too easy of a plot in that regard. It worked.
Yeah.
But they could have did something a little bit more complicated in terms of a storyline for her and whatnot. I think what she's now, I'm excited for season 2 because now she's invested with Mephisto. We finally got Mephisto.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Mephisto.
Come on,
Mephisto, this interdimensional being who could like fight Dormammu, is like running a pizza joint. I mean, in Chicago. Okay.
That's a side job. Times are tough, right?
Oh, all right.
I don't know if you're aware, but times are tough out here. Even Mephisto has to have a part-time
I mean, you could be driving Uber, bro.
Even. Oh, but you're bringing up a good point, Mike. I think honestly, when you look at the layout, I've been saying this for a while. I've been saying especially this year, Marvel has realized a lot of the mistakes. Like when you look at Daredevil, they fired all the writers, even after the show was done, and redid a lot of this stuff, and the finished product was really good. I'm going
worth it, yeah.
From Thunderbolts. I'm going from, which I'm still waiting for you to watch. I'm assuming, I don't know if you watched it yet, but the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, so good. You gotta watch that. Trust me.
Okay.
X-Men 97, amazing.
X-Men 97 is good.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. If you like that, you're gonna love Yeah. It was so good. Daredevil. These are just the shows right now. What else?
You had Loki.
I did not watch Loki, so I know people are going crazy right now. I did not watch Loki season 2.
Don't even talk to me anymore.
I'm sorry. I barely struggle with the first season Loki, and people swear by that. They love themselves some Loki. I know what happens to him though. Like he becomes like the not the father of time, but he's like the time bearer now, right? Like he sacrificed himself.
He's the guy who's like basically holding the multiverse together.
So we're gonna
holding the sacred timeline together.
Yeah, so we're probably gonna see him pop up in some form or fashion. And,
you know, Jonathan Majors decided to,
yeah, he did what he did. He really did.
And so they had to come up, had a punt.
And people are upset too. I don't think it was gonna work out with King anyways, because when you have somebody like Ant-Man, there'll be a variation of you. I'm sorry. And they try to
so Kevin Feige had said that they were already moving away from Kang before the story broke.
Yes.
That may be damage control. I don't know. I don't know.
No, I feel like he used to say that just to say that because they put so much investment and Kane, because you see Kane in seasons 1 and 2 of Loki, how he's a big threat, and he was gonna be in multiple other things. Then they had that infamous post-credit scene from Ant-Man where you had the Council of Kangs, and it was gonna be Kang Dynasties. The Avengers was gonna be Avengers Kang Dynasty, and then I think Secret Wars. So they really invested. They invested a lot of it. But I do believe that they're gonna come back because you just can't leave that hanging. I think they're gonna.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you. I think they need to figure it out some way.
Yeah,
or at least some of the characters because. So, he played multiple characters in that, multiple variants.
I thought that part was good. I thought, oh, okay, Jonathan.
The Victor Timely one was fantastic, I think better than He Who Remains. So, yeah. Hopefully they bring him back a little bit. So we've got Secret Invasion was not good.
I skipped it. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, don't bother.
I didn't watch the What Ifs. I didn't watch that either.
Oh, the What Ifs are good, and they're short. You should invest in a couple of those.
I watched it.
Echo. Honestly, I didn't really.
I like
watch
Echo.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go ahead.
No, I'm listening to you. We're doing Phase 5, right?
Yeah. I watched like the first episode and I was kind of like, okay. It just, there was nothing that really pulled me into it. I mean, maybe I need to spend a little more time with it, but
it was good.
I mean,
it wasn't great. It wasn't great, but it was good for entertainment.
I mean, I guess I owe it that. If I watched all of Secret Invasion, I guess I should watch a couple of them.
You will like it more than Secret Invasion. I could apparently.
And then.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Good, no, go ahead.
No, because Secret Invasion, apparently, Rhodey's he was kidnapped or something, and he was an imposter.
And he was, it's just, yeah. And then Agatha All Along, which was great.
That was good. I didn't watch that one either.
Yeah, that one's really good.
I heard Lady Death is in that one. The one that Thanos won in court. And she's played by Audrey Plaza.
Audrey Plaza, yeah.
I think we'll watch that one. Which is crazy because, honestly, Mike, can I be real with you? You can think I'm crazy.
Who did you say she was?
Lady Death.
Oh, okay.
She's the one in the comics. Thanos wanted. That's why Thanos was going after like the Infinity Stones because he wanted.
Right.
Yeah, he wanted to court her.
Right.
They didn't go down that route.
Right. Which, yeah. So that scene at the end of Thor, was it Thor or Avengers? Scene at the end of Avengers where they're like, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Thor. It was Thor.
No, it was Avengers.
Where he's like, to challenge them is to court death, and Thanos smiles. And then they did nothing with that.
I know. I've been thinking about this path for the past few weeks. I feel like I wish they would have gave more screen time for Thanos. Like, we only got he did have some screen time for the original Guardians where he's talking to Ronan, what's his name?
The Accuser.
Thank you, Ronan the Accuser. And, you know, I thought it was amazing. And then we got the other post-credit scene, which it's one of my top 5 favorite. We should do an episode of top 5 post-credit scenes where you see him open up that little safekeeping where he's holding the gauntlet.
Oh, we could definitely do that.
I would love to be a part of that because I have my list. And he goes, fine.
Okay.
I'll do it myself. That's definitely top, 2. Top 2 for me. But, what was I saying? I feel like they really. I feel like Phase 4 they had a lot of missteps. Phase 5 they had some missteps too because like we mentioned, Love and Thunder, Quantumania and whatnot. But they picked it up towards the end. I feel like they picked it up. They said, "Listen, we gotta shoot it. Let's go back to the elements and do it." And I feel like you see it again. I know they did it again because when they made Thunderbolts. And made it as good as it was. I said they did it because Thunderbolts. It's like there's nothing about like the C characters. You know, you got the most popular one probably was the Winter Soldier, and to make a movie that good and that heartfelt.
Yeah,
I said that's you're cooking with something there.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, you got anything else to throw in there before we go?
I feel like in the state right now, overall with Marvel, I feel like this because they originally had like a big, remember when they did like the D24s and the Comic Cons, they show like the big, like subject of the slots of what's coming out for the next years and two. And we had all this stuff like they had Blade out. Rest in peace to Blade. Rest in peace into that post credit scene in Eternals where the guy who plays Jon Snow, Kit Harington's character. I forgot his.
The Black Knight. Or whatever.
Rest in peace.
Which they're gonna do nothing with.
Yeah, that's gonna be done.
So Kevin Feige came out and said basically. Yeah, we've introduced a bunch of these like characters in these scenes, and we're probably not going to do anything with them. Like they're not going to do Eros. They're not going to do Dane. What's the name? Dane Whitmore, whatever his name is, the Black Knight. They're not going to do Clea. Like they're probably not going to do. Dude, I would watch a show of Stephen Strange and Clea running around the multiverse fixing things. I'd watch that all day long.
They kept playing me like that. I was really looking for a Doctor Strange 3 or, like you said, TV show. I know they canceled Armor Wars. Yeah, they did that. I get to, but I'm like, oh man, don't. But you know what? I'm liking what they're doing now, though. We get the second season of Daredevil. They're bringing back a lot of the Defenders, so we're gonna see some Jessica, who I love. Did you ever watch Jessica Jones?
Yeah,
that could be another episode, Mike. I'm telling you, because the Purple Man, Mr. Kilgrave, that's probably one of my top 3, probably top 2 favorite villains, Marvel villains. He did such a phenomenal job, and that was a phenomenal season for me. So she'll be back in Daredevil and whatnot, and Punisher's getting his own little special. I think he was phenomenal in Daredevil the new season. I think they're doing some good stuff, and they know Spider-Man makes money, so they're bringing Spider-Man back into him being the neighborhood. Like he's gonna take on a neighborhood threat. He's not gonna do no galactic cosmic multi changing. So they're learning from their mistakes and whatnot. And my biggest hope is that they continue to do that, and then when we finally get X-Men, hopefully sooner than later, they'll do that justice. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like despite the craziness that's happened, Marvel is getting themselves back on track, and I'm excited a little bit. A little tired, but I'm excited still nonetheless.
I am too. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on, and we'll touch back with a couple of other things, and then we'll work on that. That I like your idea, that top end scene list. So
I'm with it.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.